Min just uploaded a video about this, by the way, already. Oh my god, she fucking did. Oh my god, she did. Min Sleeve, I'm yonking your video to watch. The Gods Limits, lore, analysis, and theories. Genshin is revealing everything now. Yes, they are.
Genshin dropped this trailer at midnight, so guess who's not sleeping tonight?
Yeah, me.
I'm not sleeping. I haven't even breathed properly since watching it. The lore bombs in this teaser were...
I think Min is actually holding the current world record. No cap here. The actual current Guinness World Record for the longest time holding their breath. I'm pretty sure she's been holding her breath since like 5.7 live stream when Dainsleif was shown, and it's still going on now. It's pretty impressive.
Absolutely insane. So without further ado, this is Minsliv's initial thoughts and lore breakdown of the Teyvat chapter interlude teaser, The Gods Limits. Let's start.
Can I just point out as well, guys? I'm pretty sure we're still going to get like a Nod Cry teaser. This is not the end. We're still going to get more information, bro. It's insane. Because this isn't even a Nod Cry teaser. This is the Teyvat chapter interlude teaser. It's not even Nod Cry.
It's one of the biggest lore drops, the 4 Shining Shades. This is the first time we've actually seen them. The 4 Shades are divine envoys of the heavenly principles.
They are beautiful, bro.
Nibirius, the ruler of life, Renova, the ruler of death, Istaroth, the ruler of time, and Asmodee, the ruler of space. It's implied that the heavenly principles either created or split them off from itself, making them extensions of divine will, and they're even more powerful than the 7 archons. First,
I wouldn't be surprised if they are some of the most powerful entities in Teyvat and out of Teyvat. I think these are going to be incredibly strong, if not like literally world-defining.
Step Nibirius, the ruler of life. After the war with the dragon sovereigns, Nibirius took over the primordial sea and created Egeria, the first Hydro Archon, to replace the Hydro Dragon at that time. Later on, Egeria, creator of the Oceanids, gave them humanoid forms so they could live among humans.
Oh, this is going to be a very good lore recap for the people that don't know about the Shades. I had a lot of comments on the video saying, I don't even know who these people are. How do I learn about them?
But Celestia didn't like that. They saw that as a sin. As punishment, Celestia prophesied that Fontaine would be dissolved for her actions. We don't know if Nibirius was involved in her punishment, but it was ordered by Celestia. At some point after the cataclysm, Nibirius's heart was discovered by Rhine-daughter and Albedo.
So she did the first thing that comes to mind, of course, when you find a literal Shade's heart in a dark cavern somewhere while you're on an adventure with your son. Took it home, prepped it, you know, slow cooked it for a bit, and fucking ate the shit. She's fucking crazy, bro.
Rhine-daughter is one of the 5 sinners of Conria and a genius alchemist behind creations like Durin, Albedo, Elenas, and the Rift Wolves, just to name a few. She's also part of the Hexen Circle Witch Coven. After finding...
She's got more titles than the Traveler at this point, by the way.
Nibirius's heart, Rhine-daughter disappeared, leaving...
It's like Rhine-daughter of Camriar, the Sinner, the Witch of the Hexen Circle, and now the Shade of Life.
Albedo with a message to uncover the truth of this world. At some point, she devoured the heart and fused with Nibirius. Rhine-daughter's design now reflects that merge and the concept of life and creation. Their shared realm of consciousness is full of DNA strands. She has chromosomal eyes, a gold X for Rhine-daughter, and an indigo upside-down Y for Nibirius. Nibirius complains about being used as a power source, saying, although merging with you has stripped me of agency, I shall still continue to voice my disapproval. And what's really weird is that
she could do that, honestly. I think it's such a unique gimmick that they've done with this. Obviously merging is not necessarily gimmick's the wrong word, but you'll see what I mean when I try and explain myself on little to no sleep. I think it's very fucking interesting, and it kind of makes it slightly more obvious to me now that I'm pretty sure Nibirius was okay with being eaten. Okay, that sounds really weird, but you know what I mean. I feel like we had this theory cooking for a little bit before, and people were like, oh my god, Rhine-daughter just ate their heart? That's insane. I'm pretty sure Nibirius was okay with it, kind of in a similar sense of like Capitano merging with the ley lines, right? Rhine-daughter merging with Nibirius is something that will benefit the two of them in some way, shape, or form that we are probably yet to discover, but will discover. I do think it's a mutual exchange.
Azeroth and Renova tolerate her. Maybe Nibirius had no choice but to merge with someone to survive. Was her heart the only piece left of her? Was Rhine-daughter the only compatible host? Speaking of Renova,
I think Rhine-daughter would have been the only one to be able to like to know exactly what to do. She is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, isn't she literally the most like prolific alchemist in known history, like the best.
Of tolerating her, Renova, the ruler of death, was introduced in the Natlan Archon quests.
Yup.
She helped establish the Night Kingdom and assisted Xbalanque, the first Pyro Archon, in building Natlan's divine laws, laws that let anyone become an Archon through the pilgrimage of the sacred flame. She also assisted the Lord of the Night in creating the Night Kingdom.
Yeah, she did.
Renova also cursed the full-blooded Conrians with immortality during the Cataclysm, condemning them to rot for eternity.
Surely she had
cursed
reasons,
everyone,
right?
even if only a few were truly responsible. In the trailer, Iseroth warns Renova that someone is watching her. Renova, all smug, says, "Whose gaze could pierce this far?" And
I don't even know if it was smug. It genuinely sounded slightly worried to me.
there we see Giga Chad Pierro, director
Hell
of
yeah,
the
brother.
Fatui, standing there like he's about to clock her tea. Rhindaughter thinks he might have moved on from his old obsessions, but let's be real, he definitely hasn't.
Yeah, and she could tell.
That was not the gaze of a man who lets go of his grudges. Before this, Renova's presence was just ominous red eyes in the sky. Now we see her full form,
In all of its glory, baby.
and her wings are identical to the statue of the omnipresent god in
What a shock. Oh my goodness. Almost as if somebody, and many people actually, called this a while ago.
Inazuma, which means A has some explaining to do. As the Electro Archon, A is the god of eternity.
People go really quiet when shit like this drops. The people that are like, no, it's clearly just A. It's not anybody else. It was A. It's stated that this statue is of A and nothing else. They go real quiet when actual lore comes out to disprove that, right? Or to at least to allude that it's not. Real quiet.
She claims that eternity is closest to the heavenly principles, but that seems contradictory, doesn't it? The four shades represent the structural forces of the world, the rules of the world. They
Yep.
are the aspects of the heavenly principles. Everything
You'll notice this as
the
well, by the
rules
way.
of the world. They are the
In this scene here, you can actually see if I move my camera a bit. These steps are actually dimmed down. Like the three sets of stairs where everybody is are glowing gold, but the ones where the shade is missing are not lit up.
aspects of the heavenly principles. Everything in existence is shaped by them. Life begins, time moves, space shifts, and death comes for all.
It does.
For any of these forces to function, change is necessary, which makes them the complete opposite of a still unchanging eternity. But A, in her grief, rejects that change. After losing her sister and friends, she
A has one of the most tragic stories, bro.
turns to eternity, an illusion of permanence. No change, no loss, no decay. A state where life is frozen, never growing or aging. Death is denied. Time
Stop yapping.
God,
Just take it or
so
leave
messed
it.
up.
What do you call a ship between Rhindaughter and the Shade of Space? Asmon X Gold. That pale laugh.
I hate it here.
is paused. Space remains untouched. Eternity is stasis. And to A, that stasis is sacred.
beautiful.
Stasis is stillness. Stillness is sleep. The heavenly principles is asleep. Therefore, A's eternity is a mirror of the heavenly principles' sleep. And that's why she considers eternity to be the closest to the heavenly principles.
Such a good, like, connection there, bro.
But the reason A retreated into eternity was because she experienced great loss.
Loss, grief.
So this begs the question, what did the heavenly principles lose to fall so deeply asleep? Back to
Good question. Dude, the fact that we're going to get Heavenly Principles lore in Nodquite.
Renova.
Jesus.
Let's take a quick look at her design.
Why'd the fucking screen do that shit? God damn. Yeah, the fact that we're gonna get more shades and Heavenly Principles lore is making me so excited, dude. So excited.
Renova's eye features a 7-pointed star, possibly a heptagram. At first glance, it might reference the 7 archons, but its meaning might run deeper. The heptagram appears in several religious and esoteric traditions. In alchemy, the heptagram is seen on the robe of the Archangel Michael when featured on the Temperance Tarot card. In
Oh, interesting. Bro, I didn't even pick up on that. I thought it looked more like a flower than a star.
Hermetic alchemy, tempering reflects the principle from one do all things originate, by one are all mediated. In other words, everything comes from a singular source, similarly to how the shades all originate from the heavenly principles. In Kabbalist Judaism, it symbolizes the relationship between the infinite God and the finite universe. Kabbalah is a type of esoteric mysticism. Book of Esoteric Revelations, anyone?
Oh, interesting. Bro, I haven't thought about that quest in so long. That was the Melazine quest in Fontaine, right? Oh my goodness. where we went into the other world, the abyssal place. Oh, God.
Explores how the divine connects to the world. Gnosticism, another major inspiration for Genshin, has similar themes. In Islam, the heptagram represents the first 7 verses of the Quran. In Catholicism, it's been used as a protective symbol to keep evil away. But in Renova's case, the heptagram is upside down.
Wait, how could you... Oh, okay, because the fucking... Yeah, never mind.
Which usually means the opposite of something holy. Flipping a sacred symbol often suggests rebellion or corruption.
It's like with the upside down, like Christian cross, right?
Even her name Renova is a reference to Renove, a demon from the Lesser Key of Solomon, a real-world book that lists the names and ranks of demons.
Sick.
Many of Genshin's gods and archons are
suspicious. Suspicious individual, by the way. Suspicious.
Named after beings from this text. Because I'm too tired to think about a better transition, let's talk about Istaroth, the ruler of time. Probably my favorite design out of all the shades.
Based min sleeve. Oh my god, I knew you were so fucking based. I knew it. Listen, it's very close between Renova and Istaroth for me. I love the hair literally disappearing like sands of time in an hourglass at the bottom. It is one of my favorite fucking features of all of these shades. It is so cool. Also the like sundial and the star in the sun. You can't see it because of my camera, but you'll see it in a second. Bro, she's so cool.
Istaroth was worshipped in both,
and I bet she sings,
both Mondstadt and Enconomia before and even during the reign of the 7 archons. Ironically, over time, Istaroth was forgotten, and Barbados came to be seen as Mondstadt's sole deity. Yet, among the shades, Istaroth seems the most involved in Tevat's history. She protected Enconomia after its fall and may have guided Barbados during the early days of his rule. She assisted in the growth of the sacred Sakura tree in Inazuma. After Enconomia was cast into darkness, their prayers went unanswered by the heavenly principles and the other shades. But only Istaroth continued to respond. Devotees known as the scribes of Tokuyo Ukami thoroughly recorded the passage of time, preserving history.
She's done a lot, dude. Jesus.
In her name. Interestingly, the dangling pieces in her halo resemble clock hands and ink pen nibs. I don't know. I feel like...
Oh, I didn't even realize the fountain pen nibs, bro. That's interesting. I guess it makes sense, right? If she's the ruler of time, she can... It's like the hands are... time, and then the pen nibs are like writing. You can rewrite time.
I'm just seeing things at this point from how sleepy I am, possibly symbolizing her role in timekeeping and written historical record. This might connect to the moment where Renova asks her, "Why did you bestow history upon them?" To which Istaroth replies, "I had to find some way to pass the time." She could be referring to humanity or the twins who were separated at the beginning of Genshin's story.
Yeah, it's such... There's going to be so much answered, hopefully, in the next, like, year, I think, from the start of Nogcrite to the end of Nogcrite. Bro, I'm going to keep it a buck, dude. I'm excited for 5.8. I think we're probably going to get a summer event. 6.0 can't come fucking quick enough, bro. Like, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to enjoy 5.8 for what it is, but I'm telling you, 5 out of 6 of those weeks are going to go so fucking slow. Holy shit, dude.
Hinting at her deeper role in shaping Tevat's timeline. Speaking of separating twins, the unknown god finally has a name. Asmodee, the ruler of space. Question, because we fucking knew this for the longest time. We knew that Asmodee was the name of the unknown god. How did we know? Was it data mined like when the game came out? What is this? I can't remember. It was a data mine? This shit was data mined fucking 5 years ago almost. Oh my god, that's insane. We learn she's gone missing, may have switched sides, and possibly loves her new master more than herself, which is very suspicious. Here's my take on the timeline based on what we learned from this trailer. 500 years ago, as Celestia prepared to strike Conria, the nation seemed to anticipate the attack. The sibling was meant to lead Conria to victory, but during the cataclysm, they left to awaken the traveler from sleep and urged them to flee Tevat. Before they could escape, they were stopped by Asmodee, the Sustainer, and forcibly separated. The traveler only reawakens months before the game begins, with Paimon as their sole companion. The Shades hold regular meetings, but following her encounter with the twins, Asmodee goes missing. The other Shades suspect she's switched sides, now opposing the heavenly principles, and believe she has a new master. One she may love more than herself. Two possibilities.
Oh, 2 possibilities. I'm curious what Min's gonna say here.
For Asmodee's new master come to mind at this initial moment.
Is she gonna say the same as me, where it is either the Traveler or Dainsleif, maybe?
The first is Nibelung, the ancient...
What?
Dragon King, who once led the Seven Sovereigns, introduced the Abyss to Teyvat and fell to the Heavenly Principles in the Great War of Vengeance. If he survived in spirit, claiming the ruler of space would be the ultimate strike against the Heavenly Principles. The second suspect is
Claiming the ruler
of space would be the ultimate in the Great War of Vengeance. If he survived in spirit, claiming the ruler of space would be the ultimate strike against the Heavenly Principles.
It would, but Asmodee loving Nibelung more than herself. That's interesting. Interesting.
The second suspect is far closer. The Traveler.
Yeah.
During the Space and Time Archon quest, Paimon insists she lost the Traveler, yet Asmodee somehow overhears the twins' private exchange.
Yeah.
A possible theory is that Paimon and Asmodee are fragments of the same being, cast down after separating the twins.
This is a good point that I actually kind of forgot about, guys. So, Paimon and Asmodee, I don't think can be one in the same. Not one in the literal same. Because of that, nobody else has those powers that we've seen, especially in that visual aesthetic. It would just be Asmodee. So I guess a fragment would make more sense. I think it's each other's alter ego. Maybe it'd be kind of like Rhine-Daughter and Nibirius. Not that one is good and bad, I guess, necessarily, because we don't know Nibirius and what she's done in the past. Asmodee and Paimon may very well be like Ruka and Nahida. True. Yeah, true.
And Asmodee are fragments of the same being, cast down after separating the twins, stripped of name and power, then rescued by the very descender she condemned. What began as divine judgment may have turned into personal loyalty.
It is also true that both do have a demon name of their own. That is very true. You need to check today's date and the atomic number for gold. The atomic number for gold is 79. Bro. That's fucking insane. That's fucking insane. 79? 79. Even if it's not true, it's just cool.
Even genuine love? If Paimon is Asmodee, we have no way of knowing how much of her former life she actually remembers. Either scenario means Asmodee has broken faith with Celestia, a breach made easier since the Heavenly Principles is asleep. Around the same time, Tsaritsa plans to strike. And no one is more eager to see those plans set in motion than Pierro, the Jester.
Yeah.
Once a royal mage of Conria, he witnessed its fall, endured Renova's curse of immortality.
I'd endure Renova's curse of immortality, to be honest. I think that is something that I would do for her. I honestly, dude, I think I could fix her. Maybe.
And abandoned the foundational principles of this world to build the Fatui with the Tsaritsa. His monologue at the end of the trailer
You know what? She doesn't even need fixing, bro. She's perfect just the way she is. Perfect.
is insane. He ridicules the idea that a god's gaze is a blessing. It is said that when mortals look directly upon the gods, they invite wrath and retribution. He brushes this notion off because he's already witnessed worse. He ponders, if merely gazing upon a god brings death,
Bro, I'm freaking out. Min, you haven't slept since like 5.7 live stream, have you? Holy shit. You can breathe now. You can breathe. You know, I just want to let you know.
what must it cost to kill one? He and the Tsaritsa declare even the gods have their limits, transforming fear of the divine into the will to defy it. They're basically gonna try to kill the Heavenly Principles while it sleeps.
Yeah.
According to the Pale Star Edict, the Tsaritsa has summoned all harbingers to convene and nod cry, and surprisingly,
Honestly, maybe not even while it sleeps, because Pierro's very aware that gazing upon the gods invokes the wrath of the gods, right? I don't even necessarily think he wants to do it while they're asleep.
it's the Fatui's mission to locate Columbina, the missing third harbinger.
I think it's just aura farming.
In the final moments of the trailer, we glimpse her standing in a field of white flowers, glitching like Arlecchino and her idol. It's
Yup.
an eerie
Ooh, good fucking thought. Bro, I was sat here thinking, why is she glitching? I forgot about Arlecchino's glitching in her idol animation too. Good pickup.
image, and the fact that the Fatui are explicitly ordered to keep the Frostmoon Scions away from her might hint at something deeper. I put this theory at the end because it might have the most copium. I'm
Okay.
basically relying on more assumptions and loose connections rather than solid confirmed lore. As I'm writing this, it's 4 a.m. Just keep that in mind. The
Yeah.
Frostmoon Scions, also called Moon Children, worship the Frost Moon, one of Teyvat's 3 ancient lunar goddesses. According to legend, these 3 moon sisters were some of the original gods of the world before Teyvat was taken over by the Heavenly Principles. Their fall shattered the balance of the world, and with them, the Sealies fell too. The Sealies, once angels, were cursed after 2 beings known as the First Angel and the Voyager fell in love. They lost their forms, voices, and wisdom, becoming drifting wisps that lead us to treasure. But
Yep.
maybe not all Sealies degraded equally. When you guide Sealies back to their pedestals, it's called their Sealy Court. a name that echoes the idea of a royal court. Records of Jueyun talk about a lunar palace, and in a palace, there's a royal court, a Seelie court. Perhaps
Royal Sealies?
those who once belonged to the nobility of that Seelie court held enough lunar essence to resist full decay. Columbina may be one of those exceptions. Unlike the tiny Seelie we guide back to pedestals, Columbina retains a full humanoid form.
Do you think also this is a really weird thought right now, and honestly there's probably already lore in the game to kind of disprove this. It's just a thought that I literally just had on a whim. Obviously when it comes to the Fatui Harbingers, they're no stranger to Kamria and Kamrians. What would happen if you had an angel from Kamria that was cursed with the curse of immortality? And that's why we're not allowed to see her eyes, because she has Kamrian eyes. Could that be a thing or nah? That'd be awesome, to be honest. Is it disproven? It's a different curse. I know, but this is what I'm saying. What if, like, she's affected by both curses? That's what I mean. She could just be blind. Yeah, so can fucking Risley, bro. Like, of course. Why would she hide her eyes? I don't know. No one knows. But that's what I'm saying. If she has Kamrian eyes and doesn't want people to know that, that'd be cool, right? I don't care how realistic it sounds. Could it be a thing? Could it be possible?
The finale in the Deep Galleries artifact set mentioned how with the powers of the Frost Moon, the first angel and the Voyager once spun fallen moonlight into flawless flesh and blood for their creations.
Do you think there is a possibility if Paimon is Asmodee or just a fragment, the traveler may need to eat her heart in order to gain the power of the Shade of Space in order to blend it to reunite with Lumen? Since Genshin jokes so much about Paimon being emergency food.
When Albedo told us that Rhine Daughter ate the heart of Nibirius to fuse, I literally said, I wonder if that's why Paimon's called emergency food, so that we eventually have to eat her. I said it as a joke. It'd kind of suck, though, realistically speaking. Can you imagine? We eat Paimon's heart, we fuse the powers, she is Asmodee, and then we get the powers of space. But then, just like Rhine Daughter and fucking Nibirius, Paimon's just always there in our heads all the fucking time and can take over us whenever. Maybe we should... Christ.
So already there's an association between a high status angel and one of the moon goddesses.
Oh god.
Godore turned Scaramouche into a near god by fusing him with a Gnosis, proof that the Fatui are actively experimenting with how to sustain broken or artificial divinity. It's possible that Saritsa discovered Columbina as a fading Seelie Wisp and found a way to stabilize her original form. But her glitching at the end of the trailer may be a visual clue that that form isn't permanent. And
oh, good thought. This place also, Min.
or hold on.
You were talking about the Frost Moon Scions earlier. People were saying that they thought these might be Intevats, but now when I took a closer look, they really don't look like it. But this does look like the Frost Moon Scions place, right? Because this looks like the plants that we saw in one of the previous image teasers, which are like crescent moons, and like it's got like the lights coming off it and stuff. It's very, very cool.
On it is beginning to slip. In the Song of the Welkin Moon event, it's said that from the ashes of the shattered 3 moons, a new moon would rise, one that would spin the wheel of fate anew. Skirk herself mentions that while 2 of Tevat's moons are shattered, their fragments drifting behind the false sky, the Frost Moon remains intact but lifeless. Its will still lingers, waiting for something or someone to awaken it. So, what if Columbina is that new moon that will carry on the will of the Frost Moon?
Yeah, this could be very cool. If the angels
fell when the moons fell, there's a parallel there. And it might stand to reason that an angelic being could serve as the vessel for the Frost Moon's lingering will. Columbina and the Frost Moon combined make the new moon. And that would explain why the Fatui are so adamant about keeping the Frost Moon Scions away. If the Frost Moon Scions knew what Columbina could potentially become, if they recognize her as the vessel of their lost goddess, they might try to reclaim her, thereby interfering with whatever the Saritsa plans next. Okay, I hope you all
good theory, man.
Enjoyed this brief analysis.
Good stuff.
I'm your sleepy lorekeeper Minsliff, and I'm going to bed now.
Yeah, go to bed, man. Go to bed. Holy, bro, that is insane. Guys, go check out the video. Check out Minsleaf. Make sure you like and subscribe to Min. Yeah, that's fucking nuts.